Hey guys, this is our first real practice problem. I'm going to do two of these probably. I guess theoretically I might do a third one, but I'm for sure going to do the two on page 3 of the notes. This is the first one. This is a pretty typical problem statement and type of question where I say, find the equation of the line tangent to some function at some x value. Here's the function, the x value is 2. So to find the equation of a line, you're going to need two things. You're going to need a point, and you're going to need a slope. And the way, once you get that, to combine these things into the equation of a line tangent is to do y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. So this is called point-slope form. We're going to find a point, we're going to find the slope, and we're going to just plug everything in, and we're going to be done. So the point, finding the point is a little bit easier in this case because it says at x equals 2. So I know that one point, the x-coordinate of a point on my line is 2. And I know that if this is my function, when x is 2, f of x is 2 times 2 squared minus 2. This is 2 times 4 is 8 minus 2, which is 6. So the point I'm going to use has to be 2, 6. This is some graph like we saw in the previous videos, and the point x equals 2, there's some tangent line, and it's got to go through this point, so this point is on the line, so I'm halfway home. Actually, not halfway because this part is significantly easier than the next part. The next thing is to find the slope of that tangent line, and that was the whole point of the previous 3 videos. How do you find the slope of a tangent line to a curve? And the answer is you evaluate this limit. The limit as h approaches 0 of f of x plus h minus f of x all over h. Okay, there's more than one way to write the slope of this tangent line, but this is the one we're going to look at this year, so don't worry about any other ones right now. So here's my function, 2x squared minus x, and here's f of x plus h, and here's f of x, and there's h. So the question is, given this function f of x here, what does f of x plus h look like? So f of x plus h is, you create it just by plugging in x plus h everywhere you see an x in this function. So there's an x here, I'm going to write x plus h there. There's an x here, I'm going to write x plus h there. You don't just add h to this whole thing or something. Everywhere you see an x in here, you write x plus h. So it's 2x plus h squared minus x plus h. Review, 2x squared minus x. 2x plus h squared minus x plus h. Everywhere there was an x here, there is now an x plus h. That's what this is. Minus f of x. Let me, I can do it like this. F of x plus h is in this red box. This is f of x plus h, also in the red box, okay? Now, minus f of x. This is f of x right here. F of x is in the green box. F of x is in the green box. All right, so there's like nothing really new here, except it's like my experience with pre-cal students is that they have trouble turning this f of x into f of x plus h. So just remember, everywhere you saw an x in the original function, there's one there and there's one there. I wrote x plus h in my new function. This red thing, the thing in the red box, is f of x plus h. The thing in the green box, f of x. Now, it's algebra time. I can't really evaluate this thing quite yet, but I will be able to in just a second. So, right. x plus h squared, we saw this in the last one. That's x squared plus 2xh squared plus h squared. Now I get minus x minus h. Remember, the subtraction has to distribute to both of these. Then I do minus 2x squared minus negative x. Minus negative x is plus x. All over h. So I'm going to distribute the 2 in front of that expression now, and then I'm going to simplify things. 2 times x squared is 2x squared. 2 times 2xh is 4xh. 2 times h squared is 2h squared. I can see minus x plus x here. Those are going to cross off. I'll have to write those again. Then I have minus h minus 2x squared. All over h. And now, as I promised in the previous video, everything that does not have an h in it on top has got to cancel out. Otherwise, this isn't going to work. I can see 2x squared, there's a negative 2x squared. 4xh, 2h squared, so nothing here. There's no like terms left on top, so I can just rewrite them. And as promised, everything left up here has at least one h in it, and there's one h on the bottom, so I can cancel all of those h's out. I can cancel one h out of each term. That goes away and becomes a 1. That goes away. This becomes just 2h, and I cancel an h out of there, and that becomes a 1. So I'm left with 4x plus 2h minus 1. Now I can evaluate that. If h is equal to 0, 4x, this becomes 0, I get 4x minus 1. So I already used red and green. This is the slope of the tangent line to the original curve, the original function, which was 2x squared minus x. The slope of this curve at any value of x is 4x minus 1. So if I said find the slope of the tangent line of that curve when x is 0, the answer would be 4 times 0 minus 1, which is negative 1. They're saying find the equation of the line tangent at x equals 2. I've already got a point. All I need now is a slope. So it says when x is 2, here's my slope. When x is 2, this slope is equal to 4 times 2 minus 1. Which is equal to 7. So I've got the point 26 and the slope 7. And now I'm going to write it at the bottom. Slope 7. So this gives me y minus 6 equals 7 times x minus 2. And that is the equation of the tangent line to the graph of this curve when x is 2. One thing I will emphasize is that you must keep writing the limit here until you plug 0 in for h. That's how we did it on all these problems. We always plugged in. We always keep writing the limits until you actually plug in the value. So you saw I wrote limit as h equals 0 once, twice, thrice, 4, 5. I had to write it 6 times because of all the steps I did. So do the next problem in the next video.